Hi, my name is Ashley Conley. I'm here to talk to you about waste contamination that has been brought by the Bakken oil fields. As many of you know, the Bakken oil fields have been a blessing to the state of North Dakota, bringing in a ton of revenue, new jobs, everything, but it's also been a big curse on local farmers and residents in North Dakota. The rapid pace of oil extraction has escalated fears among North Dakota farmers and ranchers about the costs and consequences of land and waste contamination. The wastewater is so toxic it has the potential of killing any animal that drinks it. North Dakota's energy and economy was changed forever on April 4th, 1951, when drillers from the Armada Oil Company struck oil in the eastern Williams County near Tioga. With this discovery, more than 13,000 wells have been drilled, resulting in the production of more than 1.3 billion barrels of oil. In 1988, horizontal drilling began at the Bakken, a rich oil and natural gas play located within the Williston Basin in North Dakota. As talked about in North Dakota's Bloom is a Blessing and a Curse, which was written in April 2014. The North Dakota Energy Forum explains that hydraulic fracturing as the process of injecting fracking fluids, which are comprised of more than 99.5% of water, sand, and about 0.5% of chemicals, are injected under high pressure into the shale formation, which creates fissures that free natural gas flow from the rock pores where it is trapped. By doing this, it's easier to extract oil from those shales and making it even easier to get to oil that we wouldn't have been able to get to many years ago. This was written by Neil and Hansen in 1987 that discussed the hydraulic fracturing. North Dakota lacks regulations protecting its residents from wastewater contamination. Even with the changes in regulation, there still is not adequate protection against drinking water contamination and wastewater spills. My proposition is to protect those who are harmed by wastewater spills. The opposing view of spillover costs is because the costs of such spillovers are mainly borne by others. Those generating the spillovers do not have an economic incentive to prevent or reduce them. Spillovers are typically affect many individuals, each of whom has relatively modest stake in solving the problem and involves uncertain risks. That was by Colby Barrett in 2008. My view is the goal isn't to halt drilling, but to enhance the science and technology around it to provide a safer form of drilling that isn't dangerous to underground water supply. It's about making the extraction of natural gas safer across the boards through companies, locations, and time. The opposing view of fracking. The opposing view of fracking is under the Safe Drinking Water Act, the EPA establishes minimum regularity requirements for underground injection control to be implemented by states, and once the EPA approves the state's programs, states retain primary responsibility for administrating an underground injection control program. My view, there should be some reconsideration for regulation of hydraulic fracturing under the Safe Drinking Water Act because some fracking fluids are injected directly into groundwater sources and may contaminate those sources. Congress should consider repealing the exemption of fracking from the Safe Water Drinking Act. And that was written by Murphy in 2006, the opposing view was. Farming and wastewater. Freedom of information requests just to get a record of the health department estimate that 16,800 to 25,200 gallons of wastewater had spilled onto his and a neighbor's land, whereas the Oil and Gas Division reports that the spillage that occurred in that area only lasted for 24 hours, and it amounted to exactly 0 barrels of liquid formation. that was by Free Pass for Oil and Gas Environmental Protections rolled back as Western drilling surges, written in March 2009. My view on the Wiley oil field, which sits about 3 miles south of the Wayne field, wastewater contamination has caused not only crop failure, but also the death of ash and cottonwood trees. Ranchers describe the area as so contaminated, cattle won't even eat there. So not only is the Bakken losing land, but the farmers are also being directly targeted by that, because without land for their cattle to graze on, that means they're losing money by not being able to feed cattle and having to bring in a different source of food for this cattle to eat. In summary, spillover costs are costing farmers and just local people millions of dollars. Fracking has helped the economy by being able to get into those different those different shale formations and being able to extract oil that we never were able to before, but is that worth it at the risk of farming and the wastewater that is being contaminated? The goal isn't to halt drilling, but to enhance the sciences and technology around it to provide a safer form of drilling that isn't dangerous to underground water supply. It's about making the extraction of natural gas safer across all boards through companies, locations, and time. It's about helping the farmers keep their land safe for their animals. It's about helping them still being able to make their form of salary. They need to still make money. It's not all about the oil field. It should be about those local to us too, and helping them be able to gain from the oil field too. And that is what I came here to talk about, is just helping regulation to help the local people around the Bakken and keeping them safe and their water supply safe. Thank you.